A leader is a leader because he is a servant. A great leader is someone who inspires his followers, her followers.
Through our series of Tutu Talks, the Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation hopes to reframe unresolved issues within civil society and uncover what moral and ethical leadership entails.
What they do not tell you about leadership is how many times you get it wrong before you get it right. Even with a solid plan of action, things can still fall apart. A quote struck me a few years ago, not only because of what it said, but because of the extent of its accuracy in my life at that point. It read, "I tried to change the world, but I'm tired. And you know what? I was exhausted. I needed to step away, and that is exactly what I did." Step away from what exactly, you may wonder? From a passion project that I had started called Lady Liberty. As an advocate for justice and women empowerment, my line of thinking for it was simple. The majority of people who live in abject poverty in South Africa consist of Black women. If they have access to basic legal information and services, related mostly to their personal affairs, such as marriage, divorce, and gender-based violence, then the law could be a great tool towards lessening their load of pain and poverty. As it is, I cannot confidently tell you what happened to Lady Liberty, but what I can share is my experience with deep emotional, mental, and physical burnout, accompanied by a crippling sense of guilt at what felt like huge failure all around. Failure to impact the number of people I had so dreamt of reaching. Failure to complete my master's in law, a failed marriage and other relationships, a loss of income and savings. Yet, there was still an unending, immeasurable, and almost tormenting desire to help other people. In my quest to find answers, I looked inward. I recalled the amazing journey I had had over the years. Importantly, I thought of all the people and institutions that believed I was a leader and actually invested in me. The one institution I recalled was the African Leadership Institute, particularly words shared by one of the founding partners, Mr. Peter Wilson. During our Cape Town leg of the Archbishop Desmond Tutu Fellowship, Peter unexpectedly pulled me aside, and while we were clowning about during a leaders' social event, he said he just wanted to thank me for being unapologetically me. I paraphrased because it was a while ago, and I was catching my breath from our group's dance and relaxation session. The reason it stood out to me is because I felt seen and appreciated in my authenticity. That, to me, forms a large part of what leadership is. Standing in your truth, authenticity, and the courage to be oneself at all times, no matter how difficult it may be to do so. The Archbishop Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation, in partnership with AFLI, who embrace a joint vision, believe that leadership will become the indelible force that creates positive change for millions of African people, and thus aim to develop visionary, dynamic, and courageous leaders who ethically serve their followers with humility and compassion. With this in mind, I went back to what I had learned about leadership, more so about the values that the Archbishop espouses, including servant leadership, peace, ubuntu, and humility. The beauty about that was that most of these important attributes felt like they were part of who I intrinsically was at my core. However, please don't get me wrong, I do not profess to be perfect or even close to bishop-like status. I just share his values and continue to strive to live and lead according to them. I did the work with a life coach, psychologist, spiritual mentor, loved ones, and importantly, with self. I managed to change the narrative and focus on what I did have as opposed to what I had lost. I have the most beautiful, kind, sensitive boy who loves me for me because I'm his mother. In his little world, that is enough. I'm grateful for his life, coupled with the fact that I was entrusted to be his mother. To lead him, he gives me immense strength. I have family and friends that love and support me. I have life. COVID-19 as a global pandemic has taught me that above all else, life is what really matters. We have all seen tremendous loss because of it, loss of loved ones, job security, relationships, travel, and access to those plush airport lounges that gave us a great sense of achievement. Stripped of all this, we were left with just life and the heightened realization and gratitude that actually it is what we desire and value the most. I have stability, and as such, I'm able to fend for myself and those that I love. I'm in good health. In essence, coupled with my education, training, and experiences, I'm already armed with more than enough resource to lead. I can still serve, and I have much to give, for to whom much is given, much is required. The penny dropped. I was still in service. I had not failed. I had just pivoted on the how, but my why is still the same. It never changed. Enter Doctors Without Borders, also known as Médecins Sans Frontières, a global network of principled medical and other professionals working in teams, small and large, to respond to the medical needs of people affected by conflict, disasters, and epidemics, and those excluded from healthcare. I'm part of an amazingly passionate and diverse team of people who work very hard to raise funds for the operational need of these emergencies, within which I lead a small team focusing on philanthropy and partnerships. I believe that I'm a democratic leader who sets the vision for the team and then allows each member to contribute his or her part without micromanagement or dictatorship. I'm also aware, with gratitude, that I learn from my team too, and as such, I encourage their ideas, contribution, and challenges to some of mine. Now, COVID-19 has been a humbling equalizer, leveling all of us at the very points we use to differentiate each other, such as class, race, nationality, and gender. Not surprisingly too, the pandemic hit our most vulnerable people the hardest, exposing the failings of healthcare systems, mainly around the African continent. Jonathan Whittle of Médecins Sans Frontières asks some pertinent questions. How are you supposed to wash your hands regularly if you have no running water or soap? How can you implement social distancing if you live in a slum or a refugee camp? How are you supposed to stop crossing borders if you're fleeing from war? And how are those with pre-existing health conditions going to take extra precautions if they already cannot afford or access the treatment they need? Questions are many and answers are few. I had grown tired previously because I was working alone. I know better now, and I'm no longer alone. The change required is systemic because the problems we are trying to solve are too. Essentially, we need each other. So if a simple girl like me from the city of Bulawayo, Tutu, can start something that can make a difference in the life of another human being, imagine what you can do. May the lens totally shift from me and turn towards the people we aim to reach, to solve the problems we aim to solve.